Hello and welcome to Shifting the Atmosphere with Federica, where I talk to ordinary people doing some extraordinary things. I'm your host, Federica Peterson. I'm a certified executive and life coach, business mentor, best-selling author, and adjunct professor. I'm here to partner with you in your transition journey to help build your confidence, elevate your thinking, and shift your perspective to empower you to cast a new vision and redefine what's possible. Or in other words, shift your atmosphere. Okay, well, my guest today is Miss Tanisha Russell-Day. And we're going to be talking about knowing your worth and your passion. Because so many of us don't know our worth, but we do really understand the power of having this knowledge. Or do we? It is greater than just simply what our compensation is. It's having an understanding about what we're capable of doing and its value to others. And that doesn't just impact you, but everybody you interact with and influence. It changes the way you come to life. And when you know and embrace your values, you're going to see how many doors are going to open and how the activities and assignments that come your way are going to align with your values. Your purpose is evident and your impact is felt. So yes. If you need to discover your value or your worth, this show is definitely for you. I can assure you that my guest today is going to start the ball rolling. So let me tell you about my guest today. We have got Ms. Tanisha Russell-Day, and she's the founder and managing consultant of Key HR Consulting, LLC. She strives for results with a proven track record of accomplishments in a variety of human resources and management arenas. She holds an MBA in management with a concentration in human resources and a bachelor's with a double major in management organizational behavior. So that's near and dear to my heart. I have a master's in that. And in human resources management. And both degrees she received from Rider University, which is in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Her human resources experience is sustained by working in the nonprofit, corporate, and higher education sectors. So for over 10 years, Ms. Day has demonstrated effectiveness and developed her career in human resources. Now, she's a client-focused person, right? And she is very goal-oriented. So I call her a client-focused and goal-oriented professional in human resources, and she's a consultant for several small businesses and individuals. In addition, she is an adjunct professor for both Hampton University and Berkeley College. She also serves as a careers editor for Diva Zone magazine, where she writes to inspire and motivate women professionally as they travel along their journey to become balanced, powerful, healthy, and whole. That's a really hot magazine, you guys. You got to pick that up. It's called Diva Zone. It's really good. And she also served as the Northeast Regional Director for Mocha Moms. Tanisha, welcome to Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica. We're finally making this thing happen.
I am so excited to be here right now.
Yes, and we are excited to have you, me and my computer.
I hear you.
We are excited to have you, my friend. Excited to have you. And listen, you got a lot of things going on. That was only a snippet. I didn't even tell you everything this woman's doing. I just went to a conference that she hosted last week. That thing was powerful. She's going to talk about that because next you want to get on her mailing list because you want to go to that next year. I'm telling you. Right now. Life-changing. Life-changing. I'm sorry, fellas. It was a sister thing. It was a sister love, but it was awesome. But Tanisha, let me stop messing around. Tanisha, welcome to the show.
Thank you again, Frederica. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're absolutely welcome. So I'm sure that many people out there want to know this journey. They want to know how in the world did you get to this place that you are today, doing what you're doing?
It has truly indeed been a journey, and I am now elated just looking back on the progress and knowing that there was a moment where, I didn't think I was even going to make it to the next day because of postpartum depression and going through a divorce and, wondering how is everyone going to look at me? How am I looking at me? That I even possibly at times felt like I failed myself and failed all my supporters. So there was a lot of inside work. So it was an inside job that I had to do to rebuild myself up. And oh my goodness, that term is so true that the setback is just a set up for the comeback.
Yes, it is.
I feel like that vision of the rubber band, when you pull it back and you feel like you're going backwards and you feel like you did everything what you were supposed to do, you did it the right way, you followed the life steps that, the American dream, quote unquote, sets forth, and you're like, wait a minute, I did everything right. Why didn't it all work out?
Yeah.
So I felt like I had that rubber band moment and I was pulled back. And then it was just like a let go, and I felt like the comeback has been so great, but I mean so humbling. The process of affirmations, the process of disconnecting literally from people who you genuinely love but are toxic and not positive for you. And you hear so much about it, but when you do have that in your circle and you have to disconnect from those people, that's challenging. When you have to forgive people who are not sorry, but you say, you know what, I'm forgiving you for me.
Better preach.
And I know how our former First Lady has said, when they go low, we go high. Sometimes it is a little challenging to go high when you want to meet that low.
Yes, it does. It's almost like you want to take a sucker punch before you get up there.
Right, you're like, give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. And you look at what is it worth? What is it not? What is it going to change? How is it going to benefit you, the way you react? How is it going to reflect upon your character? And not to be disrespectful or anything to anyone, but are they even worth it? And then you add all that up, and most of the time it's like, no, God bless you. I wish you the best. I forgive you for me. And through that journey, and even having to look in the mirror and speak to myself and say what I am, even during the times where I may have just been crying, but saying I am restored, I am amazing, I am a dreamer, I am fulfilling all the dreams and all that my heart desires, I am receiving all what God has for me. And just saying all of those things and believing it and speaking it into existence, even when in the natural eye, it doesn't look that way, but over time, and I'm talking years of internal work of being able over time to see it come to light. And you say, oh, it does work. That mindset does work.
Absolutely.
When you're in the mess, but even though you're in the mess mentally, you're in the rose garden. And it's challenging. It's not easy all the time, but having some positive people around you, and even, when they say in the midnight hour, when there is no one to call, when you can say those words of wisdom and speak life into yourself, that's what has gotten me through and gotten me to where I am.
Amen. So it sounds like there's been some setbacks. She's been jumping ahead, y'all. She's jumping on ahead already. She already prophesied. But we're going to unpack that journey a little bit. So I heard a couple things in there, right? So we're married and didn't work out. So divorced now, single mom with a beautiful son, and, relationships that sounds like they may have been trying to pull you back. And, so my curiosity, of course, is tugging at me. And I'm wondering, did this happen in a short period of time? Like, how did these things specifically become stepping stones for you in your situation to now where you are now? I'm certain, and we hear it in you, right, that it definitely equipped you for what you're doing now. And I want you to unpack a little bit about what you're doing now. But what specifically, because we don't wake up overnight and go, you know what, I get this, and I'm going to overcome this, and these affirmations come. And I don't think that's what you were saying by any stretch of the imagination. But I just want you to give this to people in little smaller nuggets so that they can really hear it. Because I'm sure you already had some people hooting and hollering. And then you have others that are going, well, wait, whoa. I'm hearing the other side of it, but wait, I want to hear the story.
Right. So I'll take one major life event, and that was going through the divorce. And I'm not a supporter of divorce, but I am a supporter of peace of mind.
Oh, yeah.
I am a supporter of genuine happiness and knowing that we only live one time, and being at peace with knowing that it is okay to do what is best for all involved. So that was major for me to go through that experience. And then it was not too long after I had my son. So along with the separation and divorce was postpartum depression. Mm-hmm. So a part of me was like, who are you now? You were, I was, looking at me in the mirror like, you are at rock bottom. Bottom. There's no money in the bank account. You have to go back to mom's house. Mm-hmm. You're in transition work-wise. Mm-hmm. It all looks bad. What are you going to do? Mm-hmm. And it was that conversation that I had with myself when I was at rock bottom. Frederica, I think I was whatever the next level below rock bottom is.
Okay, you was down there with the worms and stuff. Okay.
You know how they say, you know what, just take it day by day. There were days where I had to take it hour by hour. It wasn't even day by day. It was hour by hour. And during that time of the hour by hour, day by day, it was the look. Because I always say I have an inner best friend in me. So she's like, look at here. We are either going to accept the mess we're in and just waddle in this, or we are going to recognize the power that is within us. That's me and her, me and her best friend. Mm-hmm. Recognize the power that is within us, take all of what has happened and work this thing and turn it around into a positive. Mm. And it was okay. So it was a lot of prayer. And this is day by day, daily. This didn't happen overnight. This was day by day. And then after a few months, I started to see myself coming back to life. A relationship doesn't define me. Right. My marital status doesn't define me. My bank account doesn't define me. What I even look like on the outside doesn't define me. All of this was an inside job. Mm-hmm. So all that work I was doing on the inside with making sure I had positive thoughts, making sure I was feeding my spirit with the right things, and that's, reading positive books and having a spiritual mentor. And then through that journey is when I had discovered that, okay, life is not over. You had a major setback, but now we're going to use this to minister and motivate and empower other women who feel like giving up. Because you know what it feels like firsthand. We have no time for the masks or the facade. There are people hurting. You can speak to them and say, look, it is okay for you to hurt. Acknowledge it. Let's work through it, and let's get back on the top. Yeah. So then through that, that's when I started the business, because I had a lot of people asking me about HR advice, and that's when not long after I started writing for the Diva Zone magazine. That's when I started teaching all what I had within me. That was my give back. Like, okay, now let me feed into others and empower them in the college classroom setting to prepare them professionally, how to network and how to navigate through their careers. So this snapback was nice It was
Yeah.
hard going. It was hard going through, but having that faith and the positivity around me to continue to encourage me, and not just encouragement, not someone that's saying, "Oh, you're great, you can do this," but you could feel it in an authentic way, in a genuine way.
Yeah.
That a few people really, really cared about my well-being. And then having that little person that was looking up to me and I'm looking at him, it's like, okay, I have to do this. I have to not just do this, but I have to do it well and exceed my own expectations.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I love that belief in yourself. I was just doing a workshop earlier today, and that was one of the big themes, because here's what I know: we can get talked out of what we're supposed to do if we don't believe in ourselves. It's not gonna. Somebody else can't get you there. You got to do it yourself. So I love what you said about the inner best friend. That is phenomenal. That there needs to be that inner best friend, because sometimes it is just you. It's just you, yourself, and I. And that inner best friend is what is needed in order for you to get to the affirmation and that belief, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been a few moments where, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, I don't think I can do this anymore. And she's like, hello? You have about 30 seconds to be in your feelings, and then we have things to do.
Okay. That's it. That's absolutely it. You got 30 seconds outbreak, and you need to come out of that.
Right.
Oh, my Lord. So I want you to tell folks a little bit. I want to make sure they understand what it is you do, right? We know you work in the HR realm, but there's so many other things that you do. In the real estate area too, right? Don't you do something in real estate? Listen, I'm not going to take your thunder. Tell us what you do.
I work with a luxury real estate firm right now in New York. So I oversee all of the staffing and talent acquisition for their company. I work also independently through my own business, where I help small to mid-sized businesses with their HR operations. And then I also take on individual clients and work with them one-on-one on career coaching and helping them find their new position, but not so much as just a job, but a career. That could be starting a business, or that could be working in corporate America, or that could be finishing up the certificate or a degree to work in education. But I always tell people, it's not about the compensation that you receive for a position. You find your passion when you can identify what is it that you will do even if you didn't get paid for it.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
What will you do?
Yeah.
Even if you didn't get paid for it. Everything what I do right now, I had to realize that I had to make a living, because clearly I would teach and not get paid for it. I would help people find jobs and not get paid for it. And I have done it before, until I had to realize, wait a minute. Right. This is, yes, a passion of mine, but also my career. Right. And then when you follow what you're passionate about and what you truly enjoy, the money comes.
Yes, it does.
The money comes.
Yes, it does.
Because I have friends who I know make lots of money, a huge salary. Are they happy? Are they enjoying their lives? Are they living their best lives? Most of them, no. And I'm not saying that you're not going to be happy making a large salary. It's just not all about the money. Right.
It has to align. We talked about this a little bit preparing for the show. Has to really align with your values. Really should be tapping into your passions. It's not about what you have to do to make money. It's what you can do to make money.
Right.
Big difference. Big difference. We take our choices away from ourselves, and I have yet to figure out why we do that. And I'm a culprit as well. I've taken my own choices away from myself. But we have a choice every day. That's our power.
That's so
You know?
true. And
Yeah.
I love that you use that word creative and creativity, because each of us have so many gifts within us that we can be creative to create an additional stream of income.
Yes. Yeah.
You may tutor, and that can be an additional stream of income. You may babysit, or you may bake, or you may make flowers. You have no idea.
Yeah.
There's so many people with so many great ideas.
Yeah.
The millionaires that are out there, so many people, they just had an idea, but when you believe in that idea, and then you have faith in yourself to be able to bring it to fruition, it can happen.
Yeah,
it can happen.
Absolutely, it can happen. And so I want you to tell, when did you discover what your value was? What your, what's that thing that woke you up in the morning? What's that thing that lets you know, I have to believe in myself because I know there's so much more in me? And what is it that you did when you made that discovery? So how did you discover the value, and what did you do when you made that discovery?
I have to say that 10 years ago mark was, I guess, the life-changing point and the challenging part. Once the divorce was final, and then coming out of that and understanding that there was so much more to life, I think that's where the light bulb went off and saying, you've got to move forward. You can either choose to step back or move forward. And it was during that time, about 10 years ago, that once I came out of it and started to see that light again, that was the turning point for me, as day by day I started to see progress within myself. It almost became like second nature, how we get up and brush our teeth and wash our face, that I would get up and say, good morning, beautiful. Today is a new day to make it the best day. You have the power to control this day, how this day will work in your favor, and just speak to myself every single morning. And during that period, that was a season of about 6 to 9 months, about 10 years ago, where that's when I really, really discovered that, you know what, that experience was the hardest experience for you, but it helped to show your strength. You never know how strong you are, they say, until you have to be that strong. And I would have never thought that certain life experiences would have happened the way it did. And it's not speaking negative about anyone. It's just life happened.
Life happened.
I remember hearing someone. I remember hearing someone they had looked at another person. It was like a small group of us, and they're like, "Oh wow, oh my gosh, she doesn't look the same. What happened?" And someone had responded, "Life happened." Life happened. So no, it's not that, oh, well, they lost their house, or, oh, they had a death in their family. That's a part of life.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to accept and respect, even with other people and within ourselves, that sometimes life happens, and we can have this great and amazing plan, but sometimes God's plan is better than our plan. And he totally scribbles out all of what we had set forth, and he creates something even more amazing. So once I started to come out of the depression and see life in a new light and learn these affirmations and have a great spiritual mentor, actually more than one, I learned my value all over again. It was almost like a rebirth. It was like a rebirth. That comeback was really strong, and I felt like a new person. And then that's when I knew that I wanted to move forward with the business. I knew I wanted to teach more. I knew I wanted to speak more. I wanted to hold small group empowerment sessions. And 10 years ago, I was doing small women's group of like 10 to 15. And the event recently was like over 100. So it's not giving up. It's not giving up. It's pushing forward even through the most challenging times. And I know a lot of this, many of us may have heard already, but it's really not just hearing it, but it is believing it and also feeling it within.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I want you to talk about, now you talked about the real estate, you talked about the HR stuff, and you kind of skimmed around with the women's empowerment, but tell us about the women's empowerment initiatives that you are involved in the work that you do there in that arena.
Oh man, it's something that I've actually been working with women's groups since undergrad. So that's like over 20 years ago, where I was involved and served as a leader for the Women's Center on my college campus. And each year, even after that, I would do something on a small scale to bring women together, to genuinely just empower, encourage, and motivate one another.
Yeah.
And just within the past few years, I said, okay, well, I'll open this up and maybe invite a few more women. And as I had mentioned at the most recent women's brunch, the first large-scale women's brunch I had, I was like, oh, well, we'll have maybe 40 or 50 women, 60 tops. And the response was overwhelming, and it was way more than that. The next year I had it, exceeded my numbers. This year exceeded my expectations. And it's all about creating an environment where women can come in and feel like they can be authentic.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like when we get around one another, we have to put on the mask and put on the facade and talk about, oh, well, my career is this, and oh, I live here, but that doesn't define us.
Right.
How are you as a person? How are you today as my sister friend? How was your day for real?
Yeah.
You know, how are you really feeling? Because over the years, I've learned that there are many women who are suffering in silence.
Yeah.
That they have this face on outside and painting this picture and wearing the luxurious clothes and driving the fancy cars, but are miserable, or the ones who are going through depression, or the ones who just aren't genuinely happy. And that takes just too much energy to have to feel like you need to put on that facade and can't be your normal self and say, you know what? I'm not good today. I'm not good today. I'm not having a good day today. And having a few amazing people around you who love and care for you just as you are allowed to have a bad day. They are not looking down on you. They are not judging you. They are going to give you a day. Good friends might give you 2 days, but you can forget getting more than 2 days. But for 2 days, so you can be all in your feelings. They will check in on you. They will pamper you. But after day 2, it's like, okay, it's time for the snapback. Let's get back.
We got stuff to do.
To have people who can allow you to just not have a good day, to allow you to be frustrated in your business if maybe you didn't close that deal. But that deal didn't close, but another one may come, a better one may come. So it's always having that positive mindset and keeping that positive circle around you to help you remember and know your constant value and your constant worth.
That's good work. That's good work right there. So with that being said, I want us to take a break, but I want folks to know how to get in touch with you. I'm certain some people want to know, how do they get connected with these women's empowerment groups that you're doing, or find out about these annual conference that you're doing, and maybe even some of the HR work you're doing. So how will they connect with you?
You can visit me on my website at www.thrconsulting.com. On social media, I'm Tanisha Russell Day on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also on LinkedIn.
Okay, fantastic. All right, folks, don't touch that dial. We'll be back in just a minute. Are you feeling unfulfilled in your career, relationships, or in your life? Your experiences can taint your perspective and cause you to fall short of your potential, causing feelings of frustration and unfulfillment. So how do you get back on track? Learn how to shift your atmosphere. Hi, this is Federica Peterson of Shifting the Atmosphere with Federica, and I'm here to tell you about my newest best-selling book, How to Shift Your Atmosphere. As a corporate leader and coach over the past 2 decades, I gained a great deal of experience in the area of transition and transformation through the work I've done with others and in my own life journey. In this book, I pulled together compilations of inspirational and motivational thoughts that capture some things I learned along the way that will provide you with some life-altering perspectives to help you get out of your own way, empower your thinking, and start creating the environment for positive change. So pick up your copy of How to Shift Your Atmosphere on Amazon today. And we're back. You're listening to Shifting the Atmosphere with Federica, and I'm here today with my guest, Tanisha Russell Day. Watch me. Tanisha Russell Day. I'm renaming you. Your mom's not going to appreciate that at all. But anyway, so we were talking a bit about the work that you do and in the HR space and also in women's empowerment. And so there's a lot going on there. So one of the things that you had talked about, and you briefly touched on it as you were kind of unpacking some of the things you did and what you've been through. And I think we're both agreed in this that, there is a discontent that will happen in your life if you're not aligned with your values, right? And so in your experience in working with people, especially in that HR space, I know you see this a lot. Why are we not aligned with our values? What's going on? Why are we disconnected?
I feel like at times, and this is with some people, not all, maybe we are following the path of what someone else told us to do.
Yeah.
And it may not be what we feel in our hearts that we want to do. Maybe our own vision for our lives may not be up to someone else's standard, or someone else may not see the vision the way we see it. So at times that can hold us back. And one big thing that holds us back is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the success, fear of, what if it doesn't work out? Or, I don't want to be embarrassed. And, if I do, succeed, how am I going to handle that? So sometimes it's fear too. Those are two major areas that I've seen quite often.
You know what I would add to that, and I don't know if this has been your experience, I know for me, is acceptance. I think people sometimes will compromise their value or question it based on others' acceptance of what we conceive our value to be. And if somebody else doesn't agree with you or align in that, then you may be willing to go over to their side and pick up on their values, because evidently their values must be better. And if I pick up those values, then I'm going to be accepted and I'm going to be happier and on all those other things. And we both know as you go down the road, you get misaligned there. But have you seen that be part of the equation as well?
Yes, I have. Because we all have a different story. We all have a different path to go down. So what we see on the outside of someone, you have no idea what their full story may be. Even if you do know them well, you're not with them 24/7, so you may not know all of their struggles to get them where they are right now. It was this image that I had saw on social media where it showed the iceberg, and above water shows success, but what you don't see underneath is the failure, the tears, the hard work, the sacrifices, to get people where they are right now when you're looking at the success. So I definitely think that's a major part too. We definitely can't compare. You can't compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
And, sometimes we do that, and that holds us back too by saying, well, so-and-so is further ahead than I am. And, oh, well, why was she able to accomplish more and I wasn't? Everybody's path is different, and I celebrate, and we all should celebrate with one another on each other's achievements, because when your time comes around, you want people to celebrate with you.
Absolutely. And you know what I always say? I feel like we all have a ball, right? And that ball is like that major goal. It's that thing that's driving us in life. And when we are looking at somebody else's ball, we've taken our eye off our own. And if we've taken our eye off our own, we're not moving it forward, right? We're stuck because we're steady looking at somebody else's ball. So you're moving now down somebody else's path. So I feel as though people really need to keep their eye on the ball. If you keep your eye on your own ball, it's not going to matter what's going on the left or the right, because we were all given our own gifts and talents and abilities to be able to do things uniquely in our own way. Even if you got two coaches standing next to each other, they don't do things the same way. They don't say things the same way. It could be the same concept said totally differently, because to your point, our experiences, our skill set, how we move through life, how we perceive life, all of that comes into play with what we do and how we execute in our life, right?
I totally agree.
Yeah, so we can't look to the left and to the right. Easier said than done, because we're always comparing. We want to make sure we're enough. But let me just tell you today, you're enough. You're enough. God made you the way that he did, and he made no mistakes, right?
Right. We're more than enough. We are more than enough. And one thing I always like to focus on is that there's enough spotlight for us all to shine.
Yes, absolutely.
There's enough money in the world for us all to succeed and to be wealthy. And being wealthy is not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally wealthy. That is major. That's major.
Absolutely. So how are we connecting with this value, and how do we stay connected to it? How do we do it?
Wait, say that again. How do I stay connected
so
to it?
How do we, so what is it that we need to do to stay connected with our value?
Stay connected with our value.
Yeah, and stay connected with it. Not just connect with our value, but stay connected with it. Yeah, we kind of went left after we answered that question, but now I want to go back there.
I didn't hear that last word. No, okay. So how do we stay connected to our value?
Yeah, how do we stay connected
I definitely would start by ensuring that we write the values down, keep them in a place that we can read daily, feel the values, have the values become a part of you, and always be focusing on your values and ensuring that daily you're working towards those values and even revising them. Like the values can grow, and you want to allow that's great for the values to grow, but I think staying close with them and focusing on them, that helps to know and help you remember to continue and to keep moving forward and to keep your eyes on the prize.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right. So I got another question for you. I'm trying to pull back on my Barry White a little bit, but you got me in here late. So my Barry White kicks in after about 5 o'clock. That Barry White baritone that I have in my voice. But so I want to ask you this. When people hear that word passion, they often get turned off or frustrated because they don't really feel like they have a passion, so they can't relate to it. So how is it that you would help someone discover what their passion is? How do you go about doing that?
I usually sit one-on-one or even in a small group, and again, we talk about, some things that we enjoy, the things that, we would do for fun, and the things that make you light up. Like, I can tell during a conversation, what someone's passion is. And we could be talking this out, and they're like, well, I really enjoy, working, in my corporate position, and it's exciting. But when I get into the child care center.
Yeah.
Like you can just see.
You
and
can
you
see
can
it.
hear
Yeah,
the tone.
yeah.
And then as they're speaking and you can hear the pitch change and the tone change and their expressions change, you're like, that's it. That's it. That's when you know that you've identified the passion, when you feel it.
Yes.
You feel it.
And you make somebody else feel it. Yes, I got you. I totally get what you're saying there. It's almost
and it's almost unspoken. It's almost unspoken. It's like it's that saying that they said, when you find the right house, you'll know. You'll just know. And you're like, how do you know? How do you know?
That's so true.
Just know.
That's so
and
true.
I remember I was house hunting, and I was looking at different homes here in Bergen County, and I was like, oh, that feeling is not there. Who said that? Who came up with that? And then when I walked into my home, I was like, oh, that's that feeling. And that's that same feeling when you come in contact with your passion.
Yes, I totally get that. It's like your whole heart just leaps, and you just, that's it.
No, and sometimes it's when we're talking about passion.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just talking. Maybe you just have to talk it through, and we go through conversations of what do you enjoy doing? What would you do if nobody paid you? Yeah. What could you see yourself doing for 12 to 14 hours a day, and you won't constantly be looking at your watch every hour saying, when is this going to be finished? Yeah. What can you just do all day and feel like you can enjoy it? Now, every day isn't perfect, whether you're in your passion or not. However, even if you do have a bad day when you're working within your passion, the bad day passes and you still have a smile and you still want to go back and do it again.
Yeah, that's totally it. Totally it. So in the spirit of, we kind of been talking a little bit about some of the things that you do to help your clients connect with their value or understanding what passion is and those different things. What is your ideal client? So somebody that's walking the door, how would you describe that ideal client?
I can't really say that there is an ideal client because I've worked with so many different amazing people.
Yeah.
And I guess I could say an ideal client is someone who is totally open-minded about tapping into their passion, someone who's open-minded about finding a career where they can be genuinely happy with, whether that is working and having an employer or being the employer as an entrepreneur. So I think I would say on an individual basis and even on a small to medium-sized business, it's someone or a group that is open-minded about exceeding what they even feel and believe that they can see and what they can do.
Right. It's almost like that client that reminds you of why you do what you do.
Right. Totally. Just having that open mind, knowing that they want to tap into their best, their inner best.
Yep. Got you. I totally got it. So we're going to take another break. But this time goes by so fast. It goes by so daggone fast. But I want to make sure that folks know how to get connected with you. There may be somebody out there that's looking for work or maybe looking to do a career change. Or maybe it's a woman out there that really wants to connect with that women's empowerment group that you talked about a little bit earlier. So how can they connect with you?
They can connect with me through my website, www.kehrconsulting.com, and through social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, all Tanisha Russell Day.
Perfect. Okay, folks, we'll be back in just 1 minute.
Hi, this is Federica, host of Shifting the Atmosphere. I'm a certified executive and life coach, speaker, best-selling author, and radio show host. I invite you to join me here on Shifting the Atmosphere with Federica as I talk to ordinary people doing some extraordinary things. My purpose is simple. It's to help you get out of your own way so I can help you get unstuck and inspire you to not only move forward, but to thrive onward. My guests and I will introduce you to new perspectives that will help you to build your confidence and elevate your thinking so you can ultimately shift your atmosphere. You can check out more information about my show, as well as information on upcoming guests, and listen to past episodes on podcast by visiting my website at www.fredericapeterson.com. Follow me on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and check out past episodes of this show on YouTube.
We're back. You're listening to Shifting the Atmosphere with Federica, and I'm here today with my guest, Tanisha Day. Tanisha Day. Go stop there. I was about to do it again. I don't know. I kind of like that whole, I like that vibe. We're going to stop right there. Tanisha Day. That's it. That's who that is. Now, we are wrapping up toward the last segment. I can't even believe it. It went by so fast. But you've got so many rich words of wisdom. I want you to take a minute and share a message that you want to leave with our audience today. What do you want to drop on them, my friend?
I think one of my most important phrases to me is when you're working within your passion, you never feel like you're working at all.
That's good.
So I like that one. That has stuck with me for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's something I share with a lot of people. Yeah. Like when you're working within your passion, meaning that when you're working within an arena that you are passionate about, you don't feel like you're working at all.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I know that was for somebody out there. That was nice and simple. You hold on to that little nugget. That was good. That was good. So, my dear, I know you just had your conference, and we tried to get you on here before then, but it just didn't work out. The show is getting very popular. I've got guests coming up the wazoo now, but that's good. It's good stuff.
This is perfect time.
And you sold out. You sold out, so I'm not worried.
I did.
I'm so glad I could come. It was so good. So what else you got coming up? I know you got stuff coming up. So what other events do you have coming down the pike we need to know about?
Well, I'm partnering with the Diva Zone magazine on their Pretty and Pastel event that's going to be held on Saturday, April 21st at Mayfair Farms in West Orange. Another amazing women's empowerment event. Come and bring your nice spring hats, wear your prettiest of spring dresses, and come and enjoy a great afternoon of women's empowerment and spiritual uplifting and great networking with good, authentic women. So feel free to reach out to me for more information. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. Now, is any information on your website about the event by chance? Or is there a website they can go to?
I have they can actually find information on the site that I write for the magazine, and that's divazone.magazine.com.
Okay. And I know I need to get, I can't remember her name, but I need to get her on my show. We were talking at your event, and I'm like, oh, we need to get you on here to tell you the story.
Over the Diva Zone magazine?
Yes, the woman that created that. Yes. I have to get her on the show. Yes. We want to talk after this because I got to get her on. We said we were going to do it, but I know life happens, but we need to get her on.
Amazing. I literally am just in awe that when you create your values and you start to know, like really, really know your self-worth, that energy really does attract like minds.
Absolutely. Oh, I completely agree with that.
Totally attracts like minds. Whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're constantly focusing on, and it goes both ways. I've learned that too. It goes both ways. If you're focusing on the negative, you're going to attract that negativity. But if you are focusing on the positive, you're focusing on being a go-getter, you're focused on, being so value-driven, purpose-driven, you're going to attract people like that. And I am thankful that my sister friend, Najia Brooks, who is the founder of Divas Zone magazine, we've been connected for over 10 years. Not one disagreement, not one moment of shade towards each other, not one moment of she's doing better, I'm doing better, but constantly celebrating one another. So the Divas Zone magazine's events, Key HR consulting events, we always make sure we never cross events because we always want to make sure we continue to support one another, and so women can come out and attend and be blessed beyond measure.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And I love the energy. So I can assure anybody that's listening, it'll be good energy if these two are involved, for sure. Really, really good energy. I don't mess around in the negative energy. You all know that. I'm telling you right now, I am endorsing it highly. So anything else you got going on, my friend? Any books coming out? Anything you working on right now? Because you need to be, if you haven't.
I am working on the book. I'm so behind. Oh my goodness! But I'm going.
Yeah, that's all right. Welcome to the club.
Come out at the right time. So yes, I am working on the book, and I hope to have more information on that soon.
Okay.
But it's in the works.
All right. When you get the book, we'll come back on. We'll talk about your book. It's all good. I got you.
I got you. So much.
No worries. But listen, it has been so wonderful having you on Shifting the Atmosphere. Thank you so much, Tanisha, for being here. And I'm so glad that we got connected a couple of weeks ago there, because I think you've been a great connection. And I feel like we're going to be seeing more and more of each other.
It has truly been a pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, now. So one last time before you go, let our folks know how to get in touch with you.
KeyHRconsulting.com, social media, Tanisha Russell Day on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
There we go. All right now.
Hey, this is Frederica. Thanks so much for listening to my podcast today. I upload new shows here every week. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get notified when new shows have been uploaded. You can check out all my past episodes from season 2 right here on this podcast station. Now, to find out more information about me, visit my website at www.fredericapeterson.com. Here you'll have access to my latest blogs, information about upcoming guests and events, and so much more. I also encourage you to become a part of my Shifting the Atmosphere community by subscribing to news and events. Here you'll get updates directly from me when I've got something new coming down the pike. Now, I'd love to hear from you, so drop me a note and let me know how I'm doing. Better yet, let me know some other topics of interest that you want to hear about right here on the show. You can catch me on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So until next time, keep shifting your atmosphere. Be well and be blessed.